Welcome back to Stoic Wisdom. Brothers, in the quiet corridors of the mind we often seek signs, validations, evidence that she feels what we feel. Yet Stoicism teaches us not to chase emotion, but to observe reality without illusion. Today, I give you 2 hidden signs she's crazy about you. Signs even your ego might miss. No games, no fluff, just clarity through the Stoic lens. When a woman is truly drawn to you, one of the most subtle and profound indicators lies in how she begins to mirror your energy, quietly, without words, without effort. This isn't imitation, in the shallow sense. It's resonance. You speak a certain way, she reflects that tone. You hold yourself calmly, and she responds with her own calm. It's as if her emotional frequency tunes itself to yours, unconsciously, without design or manipulation. A Stoic man grounded in self-awareness recognizes this not as coincidence, but as a powerful reflection of alignment. This mirroring isn't always visible to the untrained eye because it doesn't scream for attention. There are no grand gestures. It's in how she laughs a second after you do, how her posture shifts to match yours during conversation, how she subtly adjusts her language to reflect your phrasing. It's an instinctive behavior, rooted in emotional connection, and often escapes even her notice. But to the observant, it speaks volumes. Stoicism teaches us not to react impulsively, but to observe with clarity. Instead of fantasizing about feelings or projecting your desires, you watch closely. Does she pick up on your moods without needing explanation? Does her energy adjust when you walk into the room? This kind of mirroring is not about charm, it's about harmony. Her behavior doesn't strive to impress, it seeks to align. And that is something rare. Many men overlook this sign because they are waiting for declarations of love, for obvious affection. But Stoicism reminds us, true understanding lives in the subtle, in the way she responds to your stillness, in the way she silently joins your emotional rhythm. That's when you know. Not because she said it, but because her very presence has already answered. One of the most overlooked but powerful signs that a woman is genuinely crazy about you is when she starts showing up in your life without needing a reason. This doesn't mean grand surprises or over-the-top gestures. It's much more subtle than that. It's in the way she finds small, seemingly insignificant reasons to cross paths with you. She might casually ask about something trivial just to initiate a conversation. She may happen to be nearby or reach out with something that didn't really need to be said. These moments often feel accidental, but they rarely are. From a Stoic perspective, we understand that actions hold more truth than words. So when someone keeps choosing to be near you, not for gain, not for need, but simply to exist in your space, it's not by chance. A Stoic man does not cling to emotion, but he is fully aware of patterns. If she continues to appear, to stay connected, to find her way into your day without a clear motive, that's a strong indicator of deep interest. What makes this sign so surprising is its quiet nature. It's not flashy. It doesn't seek validation. In fact, it's easy to miss, unless you're truly paying attention. That's what makes it powerful. When a woman is emotionally drawn to someone, she begins to create a presence in his world, not to disrupt it, but to become a part of it. And she does this without needing to be asked, without needing to be acknowledged. It's easy to overlook, the one who's always there. But presence is not accidental. The Stoic man notices who chooses to stay without reward, who keeps showing up with no agenda. That kind of consistency doesn't come from convenience, it comes from care. And that, truly, is rare. When a woman truly values you, one of the quietest yet most telling signs is her respect for your solitude. She doesn't panic when you need space. She doesn't bombard you with questions when you go quiet for a while. Instead, she understands that your silence isn't a withdrawal. It's a part of who you are. In a world that constantly demands attention, the woman who gives you peace is offering something sacred. Stoicism teaches us that solitude is not loneliness. It's strength. The Stoic man does not run from stillness. He embraces it. He takes time to reflect, to think clearly, to stay rooted in himself. And the woman who's truly in tune with him does not try to interrupt this process. She doesn't fear the distance. She trusts the bond enough to let it breathe. This kind of respect is not loud. She won't announce it. But you'll feel it. You won't be pressured to explain your quiet days. You won't be guilted into constant contact. She'll let you be, and in doing so, she'll be closer to you than anyone who tries to fill every silence. Her presence becomes calming rather than demanding, supportive rather than suffocating. Most people interpret silence as rejection, but a woman who understands your rhythm sees it differently. She knows that time apart doesn't mean care is fading. In fact, it's often how a Stoic man strengthens his inner world. And if she's willing to wait in that quiet, without resentment, without fear, then she's not just interested in who you are when you're shining. She's at peace with all the unseen parts of you too. True connection doesn't always need words. Sometimes, it just needs space. And someone who respects that space is someone who truly sees you. Support without expectation is one of the rarest and most powerful signs of genuine care. When a woman is truly invested in you, she offers her help, her encouragement, and her presence without keeping score. She doesn't assist to earn points or manipulate outcomes. She supports you simply because your growth, your happiness, and your peace matter to her. That kind of support is quiet, consistent, and deeply meaningful. A Stoic man recognizes this not through grand gestures, but through subtle patterns. She notices when you're overwhelmed and steps in, not for recognition, but because she wants to lighten your load. She reminds you of your strengths during your moments of doubt, not to appear wise or nurturing, but because she believes in who you are. This isn't transactional, it's sincere. In relationships that are driven by ego or insecurity, support often comes with strings. I did this for you. Now what will you do for me? But in genuine affection, there's no debt being created. There's just the act of giving, driven by connection, not calculation. A woman who supports without asking for something in return is one who values your journey just as much as her own. Stoicism teaches us to be self-reliant and calm in the face of life's storms. Yet even the Stoic man, who walks alone by nature, can appreciate when someone quietly walks beside him. Not to lead, not to follow, but simply to be there. When she helps you carry the weight you never asked her to, without needing praise, that's when you know her intentions are real. This type of woman doesn't need to declare her loyalty. She demonstrates it through action. She gives without expecting. She stands by you without conditions. And in a world full of performance, that kind of quiet loyalty is everything. When a woman is genuinely drawn to you, one of the clearest but often unnoticed signs is how she remembers the smallest details about you. Not because she's trying to impress, but because she's fully present when you speak. She listens not just to reply, but to understand. That kind of attention is not something you can ask for. It's given naturally when real care exists. She might remember how you take your coffee, the way your voice changes when you talk about something you love or a story you mentioned once in passing. She picks up on the name of your childhood friend, the title of the book you said changed your perspective, or the way you pause before answering when you're deep in thought. These aren't rehearsed facts. They're reflections of where her focus lies, on you. In a noisy world full of distractions, attention is a currency, and giving it away freely means something. A Stoic man doesn't need to be the center of attention, but he notices who values his words. When someone stores those little fragments of who he is and brings them back at the right moments, it speaks volumes. It shows she's not just involved with the idea of him, but deeply engaged with his actual being. This kind of memory doesn't demand acknowledgement. She doesn't tell you she remembers. She simply shows you. That silent recognition, that awareness of your subtleties, that's affection in its purest form. Not performative, not forced, just present. The Stoic doesn't chase validation, but he does recognize truth in the quiet moments. And when someone consistently reflects back the small things he shares, it's not a coincidence. It's intention. And that kind of intention, built from observation and care, is rare and real. When a woman truly feels something deep for you, it often reveals itself in how emotionally open and vulnerable she becomes in your presence. She shares not just surface-level stories but the pieces of her past that shaped her, the fears she tries to hide from the world, and the dreams she rarely voices aloud. This level of openness is never random. It's a conscious choice to trust. And trust, as Stoicism reminds us, is not given lightly. Many people wear masks to survive daily life. They present a version of themselves that feels safe, accepted, and untouched by judgment. But when she begins to take off that mask around you, when she lets you see her moments of doubt, her insecurities, her raw and unfiltered emotions, that is a powerful sign. She's not trying to impress you anymore. She's inviting you into the part of her that very few people get to witness. A Stoic man, grounded in calm and clarity, doesn't exploit this vulnerability. He holds it with care, recognizing that emotional openness is a sacred offering. She's not being weak, she's being real. And the more space you give her to express without fear, the more she leans into that connection. That trust is built slowly, and once it's there, it speaks of something rare. It's not just about the tears she may share or the private stories she tells. It's about how safe she feels to be her full self, unpolished, imperfect, human. In a world where people hide behind curated identities, her willingness to be vulnerable with you means she sees you as more than someone she likes. She sees you as someone she can be fully seen by. And that, in the eyes of a Stoic, is not just affection, it is depth. Gentlemen, in this noisy world, real affection is subtle. Don't chase approval. Don't seek signs. Observe with reason. Love with boundaries. Appreciate with clarity. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Epictetus, if she's showing you these signs, don't panic, don't boast, just smile, and remain Stoic.